So round 40 something might no longer be the health cap for zombies. Zombies might continue to gain more and more health into the 50s, into the 60s, into the 70s, potentially even into the 80s. We really have no idea. This is very vague, but high round zombies might be massively different after this update. And honestly, this could completely change up how high rounds are done, kind of the strategies used, and a bunch of stuff with that. So this is definitely something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. All right, and welcome back, guys. So since the beginning of this week, Treyarch has been teasing the crap out of the Outbreak Easter egg coming on the 20th of next week. And with that, today they just launched a blog post giving us a ton of information about the Outbreak Easter egg coming next week, and a bunch of other massive important changes coming to zombies along the way. This includes changes to deadwire, class setups, and kind of the fundamentals of the mechanics of zombies. So with that, let's go ahead and start reading through this blog post. Okay, so the first thing they kind of list here in the blog post is information we already know. The main Easter egg for Outbreak is coming out next Thursday on the 20th. I'm gonna be streaming this, kind of doing the Easter egg, and this is gonna be the first zombies Easter egg I'm going to make a full guide for. So make sure you're following the channel, all that good stuff, if you wanna see the full breakdown of the Outbreak Easter egg right here. So past that, all of this is really filler information until we get down here with our up and coming Outbreak main quest in both seasons 3 and 4. So this means not only are we getting one Outbreak Easter egg, we're actually getting another Outbreak Easter egg next season. Now this could be something that's really cool. If the Outbreak Easter egg that we get on Thursday is really fun and has a lot of replayability, it'd be pretty cool to get a brand new Outbreak Easter egg each and every season. The only thing that worries me a little bit is if they're focusing a lot of time continuously making Outbreak Easter eggs, if it's gonna kind of deter work away from, you know, the regular round-based maps. I still want regular round-based maps with really fun Easter eggs, and the idea of getting a brand new main quest every season to Outbreak seems awesome. I just hope it doesn't take, you know, value away from the round-based maps and time and development that they're going to be putting into those. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about all the brand new stuff that's going to be coming next week. Everything we're about to list will be introduced to the game next Thursday as soon as the new Outbreak main quest comes out. So starting off here, new content specifically coming to Outbreak. Obviously, we've got the new main quest, which is the Easter egg they've been talking about. We're getting an Orda Encounter world event. So this to me sounds like it's gonna be one of those world events like the dragon that you feel up or like the chest that you've got to defend. However, this is gonna be an Orda Encounter world event, which is gonna be kind of insane in Outbreak. Just, I can only imagine seeing Orda towering over an Outbreak map, seeing him from way far away. This could be kind of fun. I'm definitely excited to see this Orda, you know, world event, and yeah, definitely bringing the crossbow and the ballistic knife would be a pretty good idea for this. And then the next thing they list is fishing. So I guess we're gonna be able to fish in Outbreak. I wonder exactly what it's gonna do. I guess you're probably gonna be able to fish up different loot, so you might be able to get potentially a ray gun from fishing in Outbreak. This to me is something that's a little weird. However, I bet this has something to do with the main quest. I feel like this was a step they added for the main quest, and they just kind of reused the mechanics as an actual thing that you could just now do in Outbreak to, you know, potentially get some decent loot. I'm really excited to see what this fishing in Outbreak is. That could be potentially kind of fun. And then just like every other major update we've got to zombies, we're getting more intel for Outbreak, so more things to find around the map, new audio logs, stuff like that. Now, something that's super interesting, we're getting Crank 2, No Time to Crank. This is a limited time mode in FIREBASE-Z and D Machine, and I just posted a video on this like 4 or 5 days ago, kind of talking about what happened to Crank, what happened to these limited time modes, and it looks like they're bringing it back, which I think is really funny because we just talked about this in a video, and this seems to be like an updated version of the Crank mode. This is Crank 2, so hopefully they kind of took the feedback and all of the bad parts about Crank, you know, the dog rounds, and there were just some really annoying parts of Cranked. Hopefully they fixed all the complaints the community had, and I think if they've done that, this Crank 2 could be really fun and could definitely be a good way to pass time waiting for the next round-based mode coming out next season. Also, a quick side note, Cranked was a really amazing way to grind camos, so Crank 2 might be one of the new best ways to grind that Dark Aether camo if you still don't have it. We're also getting a new bonus map to Dead Ops Arcade. We're getting a new Silverback Sideways bonus map. I don't really play enough Outbreak to kind of speculate on this. Hopefully for Dead Ops players, this is something interesting and gonna keep you entertained. And then for the lucky people playing on PlayStation, you guys are getting some new Onslaught content. You're getting a new map, new intel, a new limited time mode called Lotto Loadouts, and then a new weapon blueprint reward. Now we're moving into the new mechanic changes for zombies. new features, gameplay improvements, new weapons added to the mystery box, and trial rewards in round-based maps and Outbreak. They're adding the Groza assault rifle, the MAC-10, the Street Sweeper, the FARA, the LC-10, the crossbow, the ZRG, the sledgehammer, the katana, the machete, and the E-tool. Now this is massive because some of the best weapons in zombies right now are the DLC weapons. Right now, the E-tool melee weapon is the single best weapon in round-based modes. You're now going to be able to get that from a trial or from the box. Same thing with the Shadow Hunter. This is an amazing weapon in zombies, really good for taking down Orda and a bunch of stuff like that. You will now be able to get these weapons without spawning in with them. Now, one thing that does concern me a little bit about this is if you guys played Black Ops 4, you know every single time they added a DLC weapon, they also added it to the box in zombies. By the end of Black Ops 4 Zombies, trying to get any specific weapon out of the box was an absolute nightmare. There were so many weapons inside the box in Black Ops 4 Zombies that you could hit the box over and over and over and over and never get the one weapon you wanted. So I'm really hoping this new update doesn't make it harder and harder to get wonder weapons out of the box. And one other thing to note, it does look like all of the season 3 kind of weapons aren't introduced to the box. We're not getting the ballistic knife or any other weapon added after season 2. However, I'm sure they'll eventually end up adding those as well. And then next we have the feature we've all been waiting for. We are now going to be able to bring custom blueprints into zombies via the apply blueprint setting. One of the biggest things Cold War Zombies has been missing is the ability to apply camos and, use the Dark Aether camo you spent so long grinding for on a weapon you got out of the box. In Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, you were able to make custom classes, and if you were to get a weapon out of the box, you'd have the attachments you want and the camo you want on the weapon. And with this apply blueprint, we're finally going to be able to do that in zombies. When you get a weapon out of the box, you're going to be able to go into settings, hit apply blueprint, and it's going to put the camo, the attachments, and all the custom stuff you had on that weapon to the weapon in the middle of the game. This is a massive feature I feel like Cold War should have had at launch, but I'm just super happy that we're finally getting this, and it's going to make zombies feel a lot more customizable now. And then for the next feature, we're getting the option to ping the map in Outbreak. This is something that I constantly try to do in Outbreak, and I feel like it's something that's been missing every single game I'm playing. I'm like, hey, teammate, there's this over here, there's this over here, and I'll pull up the map and I'll try to ping a location, but it's just a feature that was never introduced, even though it's something that I constantly tried to do. And then for the next thing, it is confirmed that we're getting both the baseball bat and the new full auto machine pistol on the 20th. I kind of figured that they were gonna wait a little bit longer for this and kind of maybe wait a few more weeks after the Outbreak main quest, but on the 20th, not only are we getting all these other features, the Outbreak Easter egg, we're getting 2 brand new weapons to use in zombies, the baseball bat and the full auto submachine gun pistol. Now this next change here might be a little controversial. I'm gonna go ahead and read it off. Rebalancing zombie health at high rounds and scaling self-revive costs to provide a greater challenge and higher stakes for skilled zombie players. So from what it sounds like, higher rounds are gonna be a lot harder now. If you play zombies right now, you could be on round 10 or you could be on round 10,000. The cost of a self-revive is gonna be 250 salvage regardless, but that is gonna change after this outbreak, and this might get really annoying. If you're on round like 100 and the cost of a self-revive is gonna be 1,000 salvage, that's gonna be kind of massive, and it's gonna break all of the records we have set right now. If it gets super hard to buy a self-revive, it might make it a lot harder to get to high rounds, which I'm not necessarily saying is a bad thing, but any record we currently have is definitely going to get a lot harder depending on exactly how this rework works. But on top of these self-revive changes, they're rebalancing the zombie health as well. So as you get to higher and higher rounds, it sounds like the zombies' health is going to continue to scale. So round 40 something might no longer be the health cap for zombies. Zombies might continue to gain more and more health into the 50s, into the 60s, into the 70s, potentially even into the 80s. We really have no idea. This is very vague, but high round zombies might be massively different after this update. And honestly, this could completely change up how high rounds are done, kind of the strategies used, and a bunch of stuff with that. So this is definitely something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. After that, they're finally buffing the Pack-a-Punch ZRG 20mm. It is now going to have bullet penetration that's gonna affect multiple zombies. I still feel like this is only gonna at maximum kill 3 zombies, which would still make this the absolute worst sniper in zombies by a long shot. We'll just have to wait and see when they finally add this in. And then next, they're reducing the health for the Demented Echo and Outbreak, which is really freaking cool because if you go to higher and higher rounds, killing the Demented Echo almost becomes impossible. So now you should be able to do that and get those challenges done. And then we've got some gameplay improvements and bug fixes in Dead Ops Arcade. That's pretty vague, doesn't say a whole lot. Now this right here was just all of the stuff that's been confirmed. They're talking about other stuff that's gonna be coming out with this update that hasn't necessarily been listed here. They talk about potentially buffing some weapons, giving them better headshot critical damage, kind of tuning up their pack-a-punch versions with extra magazine ammo, extra damage, and a bunch of stuff like that. They tell us to look out for next week's mid-season patch notes to see kind of the stuff relating to that. Then they talk about adding a challenge tracker to zombies. This is something that everyone's been asking for, and it looks like they're looking into it and potentially adding in the pause screen, you'll be able to track challenges for various things in zombies. If and when they add that, that's gonna be an awesome change. And finally, it looks like they're changing up Deadwire again. This would not be a zombies update if they were not changing Deadwire in some way. Last update made Deadwire useless. It looks like they're gonna be toning it up again, and I'm sure we're gonna see more and more Deadwire updates as time goes on, because every patch for zombies, they're doing something with it. All they really say about this is, once again, Deadwire is going to be good at taking out large groups of zombies, so this might be a minor buff, or who knows, they might make it the single best, upgrade in the game again. And then for this final segment here, they just talk about their stuffs they're going to be adding in the future. New perks, new wonder weapons, new special upgrades, all that stuff. The thing that's most interesting to me is limited time modes. I so badly want gun game to be introduced to zombies. Gun game in zombies is extremely fun, and honestly, I feel like it would add so much replayability to this game. I find myself playing gun game and custom zombies all the time, and I just feel like it'd be a massive missed opportunity if they don't eventually add that into this game. And then they end off the blog post here with a little bit of a teaser for the Outbreak Easter egg. Look for my mark, and it's a little stone symbol monkey. So this is probably going to relate to something with the Outbreak Easter egg, but we'll just have to wait for next week. So yeah, that is all the stuff we're getting next week. There's a lot of massive stuff coming. We're getting the Outbreak Easter egg, we're getting Crank 2, we're getting 2 new weapons to be used in zombies, we're getting custom blueprint support in zombies, and a bunch of other content. Potentially a big Deadwire buff maybe, who knows? So definitely let me know what you guys are most excited about for this patch. And with that, I'm gonna end this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. I just want to take the last little moment at the end of the video here to give a huge thanks to everyone who's became a Twitch subscriber and a YouTube member. And a huge special thanks to those who have taken it above and beyond. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Cryptic, the absolute boss, Shadow King, the man whose name should be really easy to pronounce, Yamasta, and the madman, Buckley himself. All 4 of these people have taken a step above and beyond and became Unlock++ members on YouTube. Thank you guys so much, true homies.